Hey everyone, just a quick short video about quick change tool pulse. This is my mini lathe. I haven't had it for too long. I'm just getting into using lathes and learning how to use them. But one of the problems I was having was aligning my bits with the stock that I was working on. This tool pulse doesn't really adjust for height, so I kept having to use shims to raise the tool pulse a little bit so I could get my cutting bit to perfectly align with the center of the piece that I was working with. Now, I don't know if you could see this, but this tool bit here is not perfectly in line with the middle bit here. So as a result, what will happen is as you feed this in, it will get to a point where this will remain and this cutting piece here will just slide underneath. And apart from that, I was getting a lot of chattering and the lathe was really struggling and squirming, and it just wasn't running right. So I wanted to try and find a cure to that, and I've done some research and I found out that you have these pulse which are called quick change tool pulse. And the good thing with those is you can actually change these tool pieces, your cutting pieces, really quickly just by turning a bolt on the back or the top bit here. It would allow you to just remove the pulse and then put another cutting piece in straight away. But apart from that, the good thing is that it would allow you to raise these cutting tools up and down, your carbide inserts and whatnot. So it would allow you to perfectly align them here. And just to show you what I mean with the factory tool pulse, if I just switch my lathe on here, I've got a piece of aluminium there, aluminium bar. I haven't measured it. I think it's about, I don't know, about an inch, maybe in more than an inch in diameter. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's about an inch. It's about an inch, so that's about 24 millimeters in diameter. And if I was to use this end off tool here to try and snip that piece off, and I was to put my lathe on, I hope you guys can hear me. I'm just gonna lubricate that section there. If I feed it in, that you can hear it. That's because it's not perfectly in line, and I don't know if you could tell, but that cutting piece is just beginning to go underneath that section there, so it's not going to cut all the way through. It's not going to give a nice clean cut. And the way I would work around this prior to this would be from putting shims underneath the tool pulse. Let me just demonstrate that. So I'm working with one hand here whilst I hold the phone, so just bear with me. Okay, so you would have to take the tool post off, put a shim under there, put the tool post back on, take a measurement, and it's almost good, but not perfect. So you'd align it up, and the idea was to try and get this piece in line with the section there, right in the middle. So when you run the lathe, it would give you a nice clean cut. But in reality, it was never perfect, and it was a bit of a chore to get it to cut. So I went on eBay and I typed in mini lathe and quick change tool pulse to see what would come up, and I didn't really know too much about these tool pulse, but as you can see, the machine sounds a lot happier with the shim in there at the moment, and you can see it's getting through there, it's getting through there, but it's still not a perfect cut. You can see I've took out more of it, but there's still a nipple there remaining on the stock. So that's obviously not doing a good job. And you know, when you have a lot of work to do, you can't really spend time trying to shim these tool posts and trying to line them up to the adequate height. It's just a hassle, it's a pain in the arse. So you know, I wanted to cure that, and I didn't know too much about these things at the time because I'm kind of new to lathing, and I knew, you know, I heard somebody mention something about tool posts, and I've done some googling, and I decided I was gonna buy a quick change tool post. Now I went onto the internet and there were so many different types. I don't really know how they worked, and you know how you know how to operate them. So I don't want to spend too much money. So I ended up buying this tool post here, and basically comes in sections like this. Let me just turn this phone around so you get a better view. And you have these screws here, these Allen keys. This post here comes with free quick changes, and you have to construct it first of all. So you've got these screws here, and what you do is, let's see if I'm going to be able to do this with one hand. You take your screw, you put this locking nut. Hold on, I've got the wrong screw here. It's this one here. Okay, you take that screw. Sorry. Feed this nut onto this screw. It's a little bit difficult with one hand, but you feed it on like that, and that's going to be your locking screw, which is going to adjust the height. Okay, and you feed it on adequately. You got this piece here, and that piece will go there. Okay, will go on like this. So you got this Allen key here, Allen screw. That goes on like this. Okay. Something like that. So you get that nut onto the screw, this Allen key cup screw. The screw basically screws all the way through like this. So you end up with something looking like this. And what happens is you've got a dove joint here. So it gets erected something like this, constructed something like this. You got another cup screw here operated by an Allen key. When you turn this with an Allen key, it actually pulls the dove joint towards the pulse, and it squeezes this pulse tighter against the this quick change. It will pull this quick change tightly against this tool pulse, stopping it from moving. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly put it onto the lathe here so you can see exactly how it works. Okay, let me just take this end off tool off of the tool post. Okay. You can see how much problems I'm getting just changing the factory tool post, you know, just taking the piece off of there, so much hassle. Get that off. You turn this. Okay. You can take the factory tool post off like that. Take off the shim. Okay, you take your new tool post, fits over the top like this. Okay. You have a spacer that comes with this because the bolt is quite long, and you put that there. This goes on like this and it tightens down. Okay, something like that. Take your two tool posts, fits over the dove joint like that, you see, and you could move it up and down, and you use this setting screw here to adjust the height. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just hand tighten that up slightly. Okay, I'm going to take the screw, I'm going to turn it with an Allen key and just put some cutting fluid on here just to lubricate it a little bit. It's a bit stiff. Let's get some light. That's a bit better. So as you can see, when I turn this, the tool post goes up. I don't know if you can see it, but it's moving up gradually, you see, so I can adjust the height with that screw. Once I adjust the height and I'm happy with the height, I take a Allen key round to the back here and I lock the post. Okay, so now this cannot move up or down. Your cutting piece would be in here. Just 1 second. The cutting piece will sit like that, inside here like this. Okay. Let's move the stock back a bit. Okay, bring this in a little, basically align it. Now what I found was the best way to align your cutting piece on a quick change post is to put your dead center in here. So let's just quickly do that just to show you. Take that out. So I don't know if you can see this, but my cutting piece here, this cutting piece is not perfectly in line with the tip of the dead center there. Okay, so I'm going to turn this Allen cup screw clockwise, and what that's going to do is raise this post up a little bit so it's perfectly aligned with the center of the dead center. And that's going to align it up properly, and then we're going to take another, if you take a look there, you can see it going up as I turn this. You see that? It's going up, it's going up. Okay, it's a bit too much, lower it down a bit, about there. I'm gonna turn this now and lock this in place. Okay, so that's in place. This is perfectly in line with the center of the dead center there, of the point. I'm going to move it back. I'm going to take the dead center out of the chuck. I'm going to put my piece of stock back in. Okay, so the end of tool is back on. I've adjusted the height. Can you see how this cutting piece is directly in line with the center of the stock now? Okay, I've adjusted the height. I've tightened up this locking screw here. So that means anytime I loosen this off and I take this off, this remains exactly where it was. It's perfectly set. Okay, this is tight. My saddle is locked down. I'm going to switch the lathe on now and let's see how we get on. I'm running at about 450 RPM. So I'm going to see if I could take that piece off there. And there you go. It's a nice clean cut. You can see there's no nipple remaining on the end stock. So let's took it off. Okay, let's took it off. And now, if I wanted to, say, reduce the diameter of this, and I wanted to change workpieces, it's as easy as this. Simply just undo that screw slightly, half a turn, pull this off, put your new piece on. Just slides right on. In an ideal world, when you got both hands free, that is. Okay, come on. Okay, let's take this. Alright, let's just pause the video. I had to pause the video there and use both hands just to align this up. The thing with this quick change tool post, it does make life easier when you got both hands free, but this dove post or dove joint, whatever you want to call it, when this nut is loose, it keeps moving around. So your storage space is running low a little bit on the camera, so it stopped. Okay, so I'm back again. I'm gonna just adjust this a bit. Okay. What's that? Okay. Look at that automatic reel. Yeah, it's a nice run. The tool piece has already been aligned up with the center. See, the machine sounds a lot happier. It's brilliant. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching. This tool post was bought off of eBay. It's probably the cheapest one on there. It does the job. This is only a home lathe. I'm not on it every day, but if anybody wants to buy one, this is how it works. My only thing is, the only thing I don't like is these screws here. They look a little bit too long. So if I wanted to leave this on here and just take the whole post off, I can't. As you can see, I can't turn it all the way around. You know, I'd have to. Actually, I could just spin it like this and it could come off, but you know, it's knocking on there. Ideally, I would want this to stay where it is and just be able to turn this. You know. can't do it. So that's the only thing that's wrong with this particular design of tool post. But other than that, it's good for the money that you're paying. It's good. Hope you guys find this helpful. I know that when I was going to buy this particular post, I done a search on YouTube to try and find posts which are similar, so I could see how they actually were, so I could decide whether I was going to buy this actual post or not, and I couldn't find one. I would have preferred it if I just turned this like in some of the others, and this would actually lock it in place. But you know, I got this one. It's doing the job, and it's better than the factory tool post here, which looks a little bit prehistoric near this. Anyway, thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye. Hey, before I finish up, I just wanted to show you guys this motor anyway. This motor is a 3-phase motor. It's 750 watt. It's made by Tech Engineering, Tech Electrical Motors, shall we say. I got this off of eBay. I'm planning on using this on the mini lathe, and I'm gonna do a video later on to show how I get on with this. I'm going to run this off of